my most favorite 5 cheap, fresh and complimenting fragrances. Without any further ado, I want to start by House of Leafa. One of my newest favorites from this house, I have to say, Liam Blue Shine. It is aquatic, it is very little herbal, citrusy, and has a bit of sweetness, not too much at the base, and gets little bit woody or earthier at the dry down. So at the opening it is very close to Acqua di Gio Profondo, like 70%, I have to say, a bit more citrusy compared to that fragrance, and that mastication feel of Profondo is missing here. Not as complex, but fair enough, fair close. And at the dry down goes to Profumo and Parfum version territory, as it is more earthy compared to the opening at the dry down. So I cannot say it is exact clone of Profondo or exact clone of Profumo, but I can say easily it is highly inspired by both of those fragrances, like mixture of those fragrances. In terms of performance, I cannot say it is as strong as Profumo or Profondo. Honestly, I can get like 5-6 hours plus max longevity with this one, with like 7-8 sprays. Projection and sillage is also average. After first hour is below average, but gets solid compliments, especially in office and indoor situations. Right now is around $30 for 100 ml, but I believe we'll get like 40-50 in the summer. For $50, it is not a full bottle worthy fragrance, as it is not strong, but for $30, it is a no-brainer. Next one is a mature, dressed up and highly expensive smelling cheapie from House of Rassi. For a long time, it is one of my favorites. Egra. It is vegetal, green, fresh and very dressed up, mature type of fragrance. If I can find the atomizer. Yeah. Exactly. Very close to green Irish tweed from House of Creed. I can say exactly like that fragrance, very close. They did a great job here, because I like that bitterness, that vegetal bitterness of green Irish tweed, which is not that much available in most of colognes that I have, but here they could catch that bitter and vegetal feel of that fragrance. I can get 6-7 hours plus max longevity with green Irish tweed with this one as well. This one is like a little bit, not too much, better compared to the green Irish tweed in terms of performance. Lasts solid 7 hours on my skin, on clothing like 1-2 days, and projection and sillage is fair enough for first 2 hours. And one of my absolute favorite cheapies for dressed up and let's say more official situations in the spring and summer, but I like it better at the spring, shines better. Let's continue by House of Afnan. If you are into fresh citrusy fragrances, I believe this is a must-have for you, especially considering that price and legit scent profile. I'm talking about Turathi Blue. It is a very sour, grape juicy, sweet and yummy type of citrusy woody fragrance. At the dry down, it is like ambroxany woody. At the opening is fizzy, has that sparkling carbonated feel to it, and I can get a very yummy grape juicy feel out of this one, and it is sour. A very complex type of citrusy fragrance. I really enjoy it, and very unique, leans like different compared to the most of citrusy mainstream fragrances in my collection. I can get like solid 8 hours, strong 8 hours plus longevity with this one on the skin, on the clothing, like 2-3 days, and projection and sillage is good for first 2 hours. At some points I can say it is annoying under the sun heat. Very complimenting fragrance. I can say 8 out of 10. Unique, long lasting. Every single factor about this one is 10 out of 10, except that the ridiculous bottle design has no balance. You're gonna break your displays, be careful of this one. And that cap is also a nonsense in my opinion, but rest is 10 out of 10. Next one is from House of Arma, one of those no-brainer, dumb-rich, easy to wear fragrances. Whenever I want to pick something fast and I want to be sure that's gonna smell good on me, I reach to this one, Club de Nuit Iconic from House of Arma. I would say it is like a fresh herbal fragrance. Has drops of citruses at the background, but it is not sour citrusy. Herbal notes are much more prominent here compared to the citruses, and it is like woody at the base, very little pencil shavingy at the late dry down, close to Bleu de Chanel. I can get that, but not exact clone of that fragrance, and definitely we have missing that incensey base and dry down of Bleu de Chanel. That incensey note is definitely not available here. Imagine Bleu de Chanel without that incensey note with some twists. For me, this is also a 10 out of 10 cheapie. Even presentation is 10 out of 10 for me. I really like it, and scent profile is very expensive smelling. It doesn't smell anything cheap in the air. I can get good 8 hours with this one. Lasts also up to 10 hours, but let's say solid 8 hours in terms of longevity. On the skin, on the clothing, like 2-3 days. And projection and sillage is above average. It is like pushes good, I have to say, for first 2 hours. A great complementing fragrance. I prefer it a bit better for outdoors. For indoors, max 3-4 sprays, more than enough with this one. And my absolute favorite one in terms of price, performance, compliments, scent profile, and I have 2 backup bottles. One is unsealed yet. Is none other than Afnan's Supremacy Not Only Intense. Such a beautiful, strong and concentrated, loud type of citrusy, earthy fragrance. His extrait de parfum concentration means like 40-50% oil concentration, very long lasting, very close to Nishane Hajivat and Creed Aventus, closer to Nishane Hajivat as it is earthy and mossy at the dry down. Lasts on me solid 12 hours plus in terms of longevity. Projection and sillage is crazy for first 2-3 hours. I would prefer it for spring and fall, maybe with fewer sprays for summer nights, but it is not one of the best fragrances for summers as it is more earthy and smoky, woody at the dry down, loses that freshness of opening at the dry down. Take care, guys.